It's that she go, no, she must flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that
string is there. So with respect to that particular invoking string, it will compare whatever the argument you have passed, right? So one second. Okay. Do you want me Samij, do you want me to show a program on a compare to? Okay. So okay. So here I have a one file. Let me create two string components here. Say for example, string s1 is equal to, let me write it as a something like a hello. Okay, so string s2 is equal to, let me write a something like a hi. Right, now what it is saying is compare to will compare two strings and it will return you a integer number. Okay, so as it returns a integer number, let me take that particular result in a variable called a r. Let me compare s1 dot compare to s2. Okay, so now how that particular comparison will be done is, first it will take each character from each string, right? So now what is our intention? We wanted to compare s1 with the s2. Okay, so what we are doing now, we are comparing s1 with the s2. Okay, h will be compared with the h. ASCII comparison will be done. It will take whatever is the ASCII value of h, it will compare with the ASCII value of this particular h in a s2. Okay, so as you are giving a capital H itself, so ASCII value will be a same for both. So this particular value will return a 0 for you, right? So when the two characters are same, it will go with the next character, right? So what is the next character in a s1? E. Now E will be compared with the I, right? So again I am telling you, it will be compared based on a ASCII values. Okay, so now what will be a comparison? How the comparison will be done is, so initially it will be comparing h with the h, as both the characters are the same, so its value will be a 0. Now what it will do, it will perform a comparison between E minus I, right? So if you don't remember ASCII numbers also, which alphabet will come first, either E or I? E will come first, right? When the E comes first, what does it mean? Which one? So means ASCII value will be a smaller when compared to I, right? ASCII numbers will be in ascending order, correct? So what it will do is, it will perform a subtraction operation with respect to ASCII value of E minus ASCII value of I. Okay, so here whatever the value you are going to get, whether you will be getting some positive number or a negative number. If I am performing a subtraction operation on ASCII value of E minus I, so will you be getting a positive number or a negative number? Negative number. Negative number, right? E will be having a smaller value, I will be having a bigger ASCII value. Smaller number minus bigger number, obviously you will be getting a negative value. When you are getting a negative value, what is the implication? When you are getting a negative value, can I say that this particular hi is greater than hello? Can we come to some conclusions like that? What I mean to say is, when a comparison is done between a E and a I, so we are saying that you will be getting a negative value. When we are getting a negative value, can I come to a conclusion that this particular second value is greater than the first value? System dot out dot println of R. Let us just cross check what value you got in that particular R. Compiled fine. It is showing -4. That means you got a negative value with respect to this particular comparison, right? So what is we are telling in a conclusion? We are saying that if you are getting a negative value, then your second string will be a greater when compared to a first string, right? So just assume that you are putting the values in a order of their alphabets, like A should come first and B should come next, right? So with respect to a slide, what it is showing, Samij, Let me show you a slide. Less than 0. If you are getting a less than 0, so means if you are getting a negative value, the invoking string is less than str. Okay, so which is an invoking string with respect to our example? S1 was an invoking string, right? So invoking string is less than whatever argument you have passed. Correct? If you are getting a greater than 0, then invoking string is greater than a str. Whether example is justifying a table which I am displaying in a PPT. Okay, so think clear with the compare to, right? So any other questions? If you have any other questions, you can post those questions in the chat box. Presently participants 96, very good strength. Nobody has got any questions with respect to a lab program which you have executed, if you have executed. Any questions with respect to the lab programs? And be clear with the names. See, in a lab program also we have seen to convert to uppercase, we have used a to uppercase, right? So most of the times you might be forgetting that you need to write a case. You will be just writing to upper or to lower because those methods were available with respect to C language. Okay. Right. So be clear with the names of the methods. And whenever you are using, make sure that once it says that this particular method is not recognized or unidentifiable, just cross check with the method name, right? So sometimes it might be a slightly different with respect to a Java. Okay, so if you go to a C language, then you have a two lower, two upper direct functions, right? So but with respect to a Java, you have a two lowercase, two uppercase, right? So that is the name given with respect to Java. Any other questions? These are a few more string methods. And I already told you in the last class also, based on a strings, if you want to be perfect with the programming with respect to a strings, you have to solve more number of questions. That means programs, because just by reading this particular explanation, you will not be that much confident. Okay, so once you are practicing a few programs and once you are trying to write those programs by your own, then only you will understand how exactly each and every method is useful, right? So let us not waste much of a time. We will start with a topic called as string buffer, right? So we have already discussed a few points with respect to a string buffer. Let us do post-mortem of those things whatever we have discussed in the last class, right? String buffer represents growable and a writable character sequence, right? So in the last class also I told you already, we are saying that string buffer is mutable in the sense it will be ready to accept the changes and it will not create a new object every time if you are changing its values, right? So that is the property of mutable. Clear? Then string buffer may have characters and substrings inserted in the middle or appended to the end. This also we have told. We can put a values in the middle or you can append the values at the end of your string buffer also. A question in the chat box. Sir, can you share questions on this topic, whatever we had studied? That means you wanted me to list a few programs on a strings and share it to you. Okay, okay, then I'll do that. And for a few, see, whenever so means I will share you a few set of programs with respect to strings, but with respect to few programs, it might be something like whatever the methods we have listed with respect to slide. You might be supposed to read a few more methods also to solve those particular problem statements. Okay. Sure. I will do that. I will share you one link. So means I will share you a document which is having some list of programs. Right. So string buffer may have a characters and a substrings inserted in the middle or appended to the end. String buffer will automatically grow to make a room for additions and often has more characters pre-allocated. That means there will be some space given for a few more characters to be entered. This I have told you already in the last class with respect to when we were discussing your lab program. Okay. So you have a few constructors with respect to a string buffer. String buffer default size is a 16 characters. We have a clearly differentiated what is the length method, what is the capacity method, and while discussing that particular part, I told you whenever you are creating one string buffer object, so by default it will be having a capacity to hold 16 characters, right? If you are simply creating a string buffer, the size, that means the capacity of that particular string buffer will be a 16. Okay, so this is one of a constructor of a string buffer, right? You can specify size explicitly. In this particular case, whatever size you have specified, that will be a capacity of the string buffer, right? We have seen these different constructors in our last lab program also, right? String buffer, it can take an argument as one more string. So based on that, whatever argument you are passing, along with that, it will be having a 16 more spaces extra for you for a further strings whichever you are going to add for that particular string buffer, right? So we have seen an example on this one also, where we have set a string as a SCTJU, if you remember, right? So we have said that instead of a passing a string, you can pass a character array also, even that can be converted as your string buffer, right? So these are few constructors with respect to string buffer, right? So this is just like a revision. These things we have already discussed with respect to our lab program. Clear? So which is the next slide, if you remember? We need to discuss what is called as length and capacity, right? So we clearly said that length is nothing but a number of characters and the capacity is nothing but the maximum number of characters that a string buffer can allocate. This is what we have said in the last class, right? So let us just cross check those things. The current length of a string buffer can be found via the length method. The total allocated capacity can be found through the capacity method, right? So capacity is nothing but total allocated capacity. They have the following general forms. Both of these methods will return you an integer as a return type. So those things will be having an int followed by length and an int followed by capacity. Clear? Right. So here there was a small program on explaining what is the length and what is the capacity. Right. So in the last class, few people have gave answers for this particular program also, that again we have cross checked with respect to our program also. That means with respect to lab program. Right. So now let us see a small program on a length and a capacity and understand the length and the capacity methods in detail. Right. So already we have done one lab program also, but now you are expecting, now you are saying like you wanted to discuss in detail. That is a strange thing. Okay, right. So while explaining a lab program, I didn't wanted to go in depth with respect to a capacity. I just shown you whatever was required with respect to lab program. Right. So now let me do some modifications and let me show you how exactly the capacity will be allocated for the string buffer. Right. Okay. Now, okay, string buffer SB1 is equal to new string buffer of, say for example, Jain. Right. So with respect to this particular example, as you already know what is the length and what is the capacity method will give you, and we have seen already lab program also on this particular length and the capacity, be a quick to give a response in a chat box for the instructions whatever I am going to write. Okay. So this particular statement, whichever I have written now, it will create a string buffer object with an referencing variable called as a SB1, and the content of that one will be a this particular Jain. Correct. Now, if I write system dot out dot print ln of, I am interested in just knowing what is its length, double quotes plus SB1 dot length. So this is how I'll be calculating the length of that particular string buffer. So then I wanted something capacity. Let me give us some space. Okay, capacity colon double quote once. Okay, so plus SB1 dot capacity. Right. Close of this statement. Right. Now what will be output of this particular statement? Sir, in an ideal, once again, question in the chat box. Sir, in an ideal program, the memory used should be less as possible, but a string buffer keeps 16 extra spaces. So is it ideal for the programs containing multiple inputs? Kevin, it's completely depend on our requirement. Say for example, if you know that you will be doing so many manipulations with respect to a string, whatever you have taken as an input, if you are sure that you will be doing so many manipulations, if you are sure that there will be a few more characters that are going to enter, so means that are going to be populated during a program execution, in that situations only you are supposed to go with a string buffer. Okay, if you don't have that kind of a necessity, that means if you are not doing a manipulations regularly with respect to a string, that means once a string has been taken, you are not going to modify that one regularly, right? So what happens if you are modifying regularly, and if you are using a strings, means for every modification a new object will be created, right? So if you have a requirement wherein which you will be doing so many modifications and you don't want an extra object need to be created for every modification, then only you need to go with a string buffer. Okay, if you are sure that you are not going to do any modifications, you will be just reading the input from the user and you are just storing it somewhere. If that is a requirement, don't go with the string buffer, go with the strings only. Clear? Both string and a string buffer have their own advantage and disadvantages, right? So it is completely according to our requirement. Whenever we want to use, we can use based on our situations. Right, so I got a few answers in a chat box. Length as a 4 and a capacity as a 20. So let me just cross check. Compiled fine, executed fine without showing. Oh, I didn't save the file. Okay, compiled fine, executed fine with a length 4 and a capacity 20. Okay, so whoever has given a correct answer, congratulations. Let us proceed with a small change. Right, so what does that particular change? SB dot, I wanted to add a few more values. Append, what you wanted to add, sir? I wanted to add university. Super. Now let me print this particular statement as it is after adding a university. Okay, after adding a university, let me just check what is the content of my SB1 also, right? Hope you are sure with whatever the things I have done. Initially it was a SB1. I just checked the length and the capacity of that particular SB1, right? So later I am appending a SB1 with one more particular string. So after appending, what is the output? I just wanted to check. Later I just wanted to check what is the length and what is the capacity, right? So here, can I write this particular statement? Output will be Jain followed by university, right? Now that is a small append, so I wrote output directly, right? So here, just tell me what will be a length value and what will be a capacity value. What is the length? So I got some response in the chat box. Length is a 14. Okay. Mute yourself. Okay. Right. So length is a 14. What is the capacity? Capacity is 30. Okay, 14. So you are thinking like extra 16 spaces will be given. Okay, right. Let us write your answer here. So you said a length will be a 14 and a capacity is a 30. Okay. So with respect to yesterday's lab program, does anybody check it, like whether can we do operation something like this and just a cross check the what might be the capacity? Were you getting a 30 itself? Means if you are giving answer as a 30 means you will be confident enough that capacity will be 30. Let me just cross check what is the capacity. What is this? How you executed lab program? It is showing a 20 only. It is showing a length as a 14. Yes, one of your answer is correct. But how about the capacity? It is showing still 20 only. Come on, right? So let me add a few more values for this particular existing string. Copied up these statements, pasted these statements. What was the capacity before? It was 14. Length was a 14. Let me add a few more values for this. IoT and a JE. So means IoT and a ESE. Now, what will be its length and what will be its capacity? What is its length? Length is 19. Just to cross check. Length is 20. Okay. Length is 20. Length is 20. Length is 20. Okay. So length and capacity 2020. Okay. This is not a impression from yesterday's match, right? 2020. Okay. Let me just cross check. I got answers for a length and a capacity as a 20 and a 20. So let me have that particular capacity also 20. Then let me just cross check whether your answers are matching with respect to program or not. Congratulations, it is matching. But how? How the capacity remained at 20 itself? Okay, so let us do one more small modification. Copied everything, pasted everything, right? So let me introduce one more space here, right? Introduce the one more space. Okay, now what will be a length and what will be a capacity? Length, as I increased one space, it will be a 21. Okay, length is a 21 because I have introduced one more space. Capacity, Saifullah is saying that 20 is the capacity. Okay. Capacity is 20. Okay, once again, 20 is the capacity. Okay. Any other answers for a capacity? Length is a unanimous. It is a 21 itself. Okay. So there is a confusion with respect to a capacity. So any other answers with respect to a capacity? Most of answers are like a 20 is the capacity. When a capacity is a 20, Hamid, okay, 42, oh, right. When a capacity is a 20, how can it accommodate a 21 characters? That is a basic question need to be thought. So means you have to think about that particular question, right? So what you are saying is capacity itself is a 20. When a capacity itself is a 20, how come this particular length will become a 21? Ruby Kumar Mandal, 42 is the capacity. How that particular value came, 42? Hamid, how it is 42? Length is 21. Jagdish is saying 37. So, okay. So length is a 21 means how it will become a 42? Okay. So let me give you a small clarity on this particular capacity part. Okay. 1 second. Right. Okay. So now, whenever you create a string buffer, we said that default 16 spaces will be given for the string buffer. Yes, that is absolutely fine if you are creating a string without passing any argument. 16 spaces will be there, and that will be a capacity of that particular string buffer. Okay. Now, when you are initializing that particular string buffer with a certain value, in this particular case, during the initialization only you are specifying a certain string. So in this case, 20 will be its capacity, right? So once this has been declared, that means you are creating object using a string buffer now, right? And what you have said is, I wanted to have a string buffer object with this particular value as by default. That means initially you take this particular value and create me a string buffer, you said, right? It has created a string buffer for you by initializing these 4 values in it. And it has got almost 16 spaces extra also, right? So that is the reason why a capacity is a 20, right? So till now everything is fine, no doubts with respect to this particular part. Now if I am appending, when I am appending, what we said, okay, so whenever there is a change, it is ready to accept all those changes in that particular 16 characters. That means 16 spaces whichever you have kept it as empty, right? So now whenever I use that particular append function, so with respect to this, whatever values you will be giving, right? So all these values will be allocated in that particular 16 extra spaces. Now, if you have filled all those 16 spaces, right? If you have filled all those 16 spaces, what it thinks is, okay, so this person is doing so many operations with respect to a string buffer. So whatever memory I have given to him, he is utilizing everything. So next time we will make sure that we will give some more extra space, right? So your string buffer has been implemented in this particular fashion. Now what it will do is, once you finish all its 20 characters, that means once you finish all this 20 capacity, once you fill all this 20 capacity which has been allocated during the initialization of a string buffer, that means when you are creating a string buffer, whatever capacity you have kept, if everything has been finished, if 20 or so means 20 have been consumed, next time what it will do is, it will create one bigger string buffer and copies whatever content was there earlier into that particular newly created string buffer, right? So what I said, 20 was a capacity and you have occupied all those 20 locations. Now what it will do is, it will create a bigger buffer. You are saying a bigger, how much bigger? There will be some limit for that particular bigger, right? So that particular limit for the bigger is you have a formula for that. That is not a bigger formula, it's a simple formula. What it will do is, whatever is the old capacity into 2 plus 2, this will be the capacity of new string buffer, right? So according to this particular equation, once a 20 has been achieved, so this will be performing a 20 into 2, 40 plus 2. This is nothing but 42. Now say, for suppose, if you have filled this particular 42 locations also, because this is a new capacity, right? 42. If you have finished this particular 42 also, if you have introduced a 43rd locations, means 43rd character, now again the same formula will be applied. So 42 into 2, 84 plus 2, right? So what is the value? This will be your new bigger string buffer. Understood? Clear with the value how you got this particular, means we have not executed that particular part, right?
Sir,
Yes.
if we are creating a new buffer string, so the previous buffer string memory will be freed or not?
It will be ready for the garbage collection.
Okay.
Yeah. The previous string buffer created will not be having any reference, so it will be ready for the garbage collection. 42. And whatever a string you are getting is Jain University IoT SC IoT S followed by E. So totally you have a 27 characters on that, right? Shall we copy paste this particular statement once again and just cross check what might be the new value, right? So here let me add these particular values here. Now what will be the length? Previously it was a 27, now I am adding a one more 27. So what will be a total value? 27 plus 27, 54, right? So when length is a 54, and what was the capacity? Capacity was just a 42, right? So it is crossing that particular length. That means now you require a bigger what I can say, bigger string buffer, right? So in this case, what should be the answer then? Where did I paste that? Okay. Once again, let me paste this one after the argument. Here the capacity was a 42, right? So now after this particular 42, I am introducing once again 27 characters into that particular string buffer. So in this case, let me check what might be the capacity value, right? So 54 is the length, the capacity is 86. Clear with the length and the capacity? The reason why I didn't give this much description in the last during the lab is, if I take a more time on this particular length and the capacity explanation, so other options were there to be explained, so it used to take so much time, so I didn't take much of a time for this particular lab. So here the length was 27, and now after adding this, the new value of a length became a 54, and the new value of a capacity became 86. Okay, so take a glance on this particular program for 1 minute. I'll come back in a minute if you have any. Okay, so hope no questions with respect to length and capacity. And one more important point, I have not mentioned this particular formula in your PPT. In the PPT it is not mentioned. So this particular formula, like old capacity is equal, so means new capacity is equal to old capacity into 2 plus 2. So this is not specified in that particular PPT whichever I have shared. If you want to add in a PPT, you can make this particular point or make a note at a somewhere so that you will remember this particular expression. Shall we proceed with the next methods of a string buffer? Okay, so no questions, right? Okay. Let us proceed with our few more methods with respect to string buffer. Right. You have a method called a ensure capacity. So this particular method, what it will do is whatever a size you are going to specify, it is going to make sure that that much space is allocated. Right. Let me show you a few points with respect to ensure capacity. Then we will discuss about that. Okay. So what does ensure capacity says? If you want to pre-allocate room for a certain number of characters after a string buffer has been constructed, right? If you wanted a extra space, okay, after creating a string buffer, right? After creating a string buffer, if you wanted to have an extra space, then you can use a method called a ensure capacity. Okay, its the syntax is void ensure capacity int capacity. That means whatever capacity you are going to specify as an argument, that will be the size of your buffer. Okay, so what is the use of this one? Do you find any use of this method? Don't you have a constructor for this particular aspect to be done? You have some constructor, right? Int size, the second constructor, whichever is taking a int size. Okay, here also you have a scene in a lab program also. You have created string buffer SB is equal to new string buffer. I think SB3, right, in a program. String buffer SB3 is equal to new string buffer of 50 you said, right? And you told that that 50 will be a capacity, right? So when you have already had this particular constructor for ensuring a size, that means a capacity, then what is the purpose of this particular ensure capacity? I mean to ask you, what is the difference between that particular constructor and this particular method? What might be the difference? Okay, any answers? I'm expecting some answers. No answers. At least did I ask a valid question? When you have a constructor already, why you require this particular method for ensuring the capacity? Seems valid. Okay. Now read the statement carefully. What a statement is saying: if you want to pre-allocate room for a certain number of characters after a string buffer has been constructed, that means after creating a string buffer object, that means after writing string buffer SB is equal to new string buffer of 50, you wrote that you wrote already saying a 50, you wanted that much capacity. After some time you felt like that 50 is not enough, I need to have a few more, so means a bigger capacity, few more capacity should be there with respect to string buffer. In that scenario you can go with the ensure capacity. Any questions? Got the difference between a constructor and this particular method ensure capacity? No. Once again, sir. Okay. Let me go with the program only instead of just showing the description. Okay. Hope it is okay to erase this particular program. Sir, if a string buffer is already creating the capacity, then what is the need of this? Okay. Yes, you should have all these questions. If you have a questions, then only whatever answers I give you, so then there will be some justification. If I'm just shouting, then there will be no sense on that. Shall I erase this particular program? Understood what is the length and what is the capacity, right? Correct. Done. String buffer SB is equal to new string buffer. Okay, so I said that I wanted a capacity to have some 50, right? So that is my string buffer with the capacity I have specified. Now what I'm saying is, here in the middle, so means after creating this particular object, I have done a few operations on this particular string buffer. I said like append this particular value, append that particular value, append one more value, append a few more values, and somehow I have filled that particular 50. Right now, before filling a 50, I felt that so means this programmer, so means this program requirement might be expecting a more number of strings, right? So now what I did is I wrote a something like BSB dot ensure capacity. Spelling is correct. Okay. Ensure capacity. I said like 100. Okay. You take some capacity as 100. Right? So what is the conclusion now? What are the things we have done is, initially while creating the object, we thought it might be requiring a 50 spaces. So we have created a 50 capacity as a string buffer. In the process, after seeing some one or two statements, we felt like 50 is not enough. Better to have a string buffer with a capacity called 100. Right? So whenever this particular statement comes, sb.ensure capacity, what it will do is it will extend its string buffer with the value whatever you have specified. Correct? Now you need to observe two important things. See, while creating the object, I was having a one impression. After a certain program, after executing a few statements, I got a one more perception saying that the capacity should be more, and so I am using the ensure capacity method. Now you might be getting a one more question. Sir, when a string buffer itself is a growable, as and when you are going to add a characters, it is increasing its capacity by its own. Then what is the purpose of going with the ensure capacity once again? That might be the question. Right. Now, assume that you didn't write this particular ensure capacity. You didn't write this particular part. Right. Now, what is the capacity of your string buffer? 50. Right. So, once it crosses that particular 50, that means once length becomes a 51. Right. So, what will be a new capacity of your string buffer? Old capacity into 2 plus 2. Okay, 102. Now, what internally, how the things will be happening, you have to have a small imagination. What I said, once it is crossing a 51, first it will be creating a bigger string buffer, right? So that particular string buffer length will be, means capacity will be a 102. Now, after creating that particular bigger string buffer, content from your older string buffer will be copied to a newer string buffer. Correct? Now, if your newer string buffer need to come into existence, means it has to perform a allocation of, so means I am telling you a procedure. First, a new bigger string buffer need to be created. Then each and every character from your previous string buffer need to be copied to a new string buffer. This is a procedure. Can I say that for this particular procedure to happen, there should be some extra task to be done with respect to string buffer? Right? So now what I mean to say is, after finishing this particular 50, if you wanted to add a 51st character, then a new object has been created, all the 50 has to be copied to a new string buffer, then only you will be having extra spaces. Now, instead of doing all these complete process of copying every content from an old one to a new one, will it take some time to copy content from an old buffer to a new buffer? Might be negligible, but there is some time for that, right? So to avoid that particular aspect, what I will do is, I will say, okay, so there might be a requirement of extra space. So ensure that you have some more capacity, something like some 500. Right? So once this method comes, what happens is, whether you have a filled that particular 50, so means until and unless you fill that particular 50, it is not going to do anything. Once you filled that particular 50, it will make a room for this particular 500. In this situation, no need to copy from a older to a newer one. It will be having a bigger capacity string buffer already for you. You can directly utilize that particular string buffer. Right? So extra space, that means ensure capacity is nothing but enlarging your string buffer. Right? You are making your string buffer ready to be with those many spaces whatever you have specified. Is this differentiation is clear? Understood why you require ensure capacity method? When you are creating a string buffer, you might be having some perception on a program. After that particular perception, you require extra space, then you need to go with the ensure capacity. Right? Even though if you are not writing ensure capacity, program will work no problem. It will be growing in a fashion. However, you are going to input more values, no problem in that. But the performance will be more if you are using the ensure capacity. It means it will not go to 1 or to 2 as it will have a 500 capacity. Okay, so let me just cross check what is the value of a capacity at that particular position. System.out.print println. I want to have residual dot capacity. I'm just cross checking. Cannot find a symbol ensure capacity. What was the name I wrote? Oh, SLTY is not SLTY, that is CLT. Right. So when it is showing a 500, then now a string buffer will be having a capacity to hold a 500 characters. See, I have not put anything into a string buffer. By just using an ensure capacity, I'm just cross checking what might be the new capacity. So it is showing the 500 for me. No, whenever you are using, see, whatever operations you do on a string buffer, no new object will be created, even with respect to a ensure capacity also. Existing one will be extended with the new space. That means an extra space will be added for the existing one. Hope ensure capacity method is clear. Right? So by using ensure capacity, the performance of a program will be a more, it is not recommended every time to go with the ensure capacity because system can create a space for it automatically. Right? So, but there is a method for the sake of a performance utilization. Yeah, you can use, no problem in that. There is a question in the chat box. What if we use string buffer of a 501? Yes, you can use. See, I am telling in the middle of a program, after creating a string buffer, if you want extra capacity, then you can go with the ensure capacity. While creating itself, if you know like how much capacity of a string buffer you require, then you can directly give that particular value. No problem in that. In that case, capacity will be 501 itself. Don't get confused. So means while creating, if you know capacity, you directly specify. Say for example, you might be feeling like if I have a bigger string buffer, then it will be comfortable itself. No, why you want to give a smaller values? The problem is once you are giving a bigger value. Say for example, if you have created a string buffer by specifying a 501 as a capacity, and if you are just putting a 2 characters like A, B, right? So remaining of 499 spaces are a waste itself, right? So again, that will be reducing your performance of a program, right? So while creating, if you have enough knowledge, like I might be using some 1,000 characters with respect to this particular string buffer, then you initialize your string buffer with 1,000 value itself, 1,000 capacity itself. No problem in that. We are discussing with respect to ensure capacity in the middle. After allocating a string buffer, if you feel like extra space is required, then you can go with the ensure capacity and give extra space for that. Clear? Right. So similar to your string, I mean, for a strings also, for a strings you have a length method, right? So here you have a length method with respect to a string buffer also, but you have a one more method which is called as a set length. What does this set length will do is set length. What it will do is whatever length you specify, only those many number of characters will be considered. Okay, so apart from that, whatever the remaining characters are there, those things will be excluded, right? To set a length of the buffer within a string buffer object. So there you will be using this particular set length. Let me show you a small program for this particular string length set length also. Say for example, I have a one string buffer object. String buffer sb1 is equal to new string buffer. Let me say something like this is my string buffer. Now what I felt is I don't want a complete string now. I just wanted from a Deepika Padukone, I just wanted Deepika as a separate string buffer, separate string, right? Now what I have to do is I have to just count how many number of, what is the length of that particular word, right? So length of a word, so means D is a one character, E is another character, PP is another character. So totally how many characters I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? 7 characters I have. Now what I need to do is set length of 7. This is set length function, right? So system dot out dot println of sb1. Now what will happen is with respect to your input, whatever might be the length you have specified, only those characters will be taken and the rest of the characters will be discarded. Clear with the set length method? Whatever length you have specified, only those many characters will be considered, the rest of the characters will be discarded. Understood the set length method? Okay. So let me just summarize and let us take a few more methods in the next class. So with respect to today's session, we have discussed what is a string buffer and we have discussed different constructors of a string buffer, and we have clearly discussed what is the length and what is the capacity of a string buffer, and we gave a formula on a string capacity. We have given a formula for that particular capacity. We said if a capacity is a crossing, then a new capacity will be a older capacity into 2 plus 2. That will be your new capacity. Then we have discussed the ensure capacity method. What is the purpose of that particular method, when to go with that particular method. Then we have discussed the set length, and we said that whatever length you specify, those many number of characters will be taken. Right? Yes. Output is Deepika. Okay. So we have one more session at after this one, right? 11:30 to 12:30. So during that particular hour, we will discuss a few more methods with respect to your string buffer. Thanks for your time. Have a nice time till 11:30.